Hey everybody, welcome to Real Brave Live. We are live on Instagram, we are live on Podbean, we are live on Facebook, and we're getting bigger and bigger every single day. It's just incredible. Real Brave, of course, is a music lesson studio with a bunch of locations, but we are online. We have a online platform called Practice Pad. Here you can sign up and take lessons one-on-one in our custom video portal. And what I mean by that is it's just like taking lessons in studio, but it's online. It's in our own interface. Plus, we can help you learn how to practice and get good at your instrument. You can follow us on all the social, and also if you're paying attention, go for free lessons right now on our Facebook group, which is called the Practice Portal. A lot of P's. The Practice Portal is a place where you can get free lessons. And you can also sign up for Practice Pad for weekly lessons in our online platform. Whew, that's a mouthful. Hey, Kevin, how are you?
Hey, Dan, I'm great. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Sure.
Sure. Here on Real Brave Live.
Great.
It's one of my best ones, I think.
It's pretty good.
I like that we don't have a set intro music.
No.
You see all these different podcasts and shows that they have like an opening theme, and it's like after like 2 or 3 listens, you're just like, this song. I'm so sick of this song.
Yeah.
But on this video podcast, it's different every week.
You had sunglasses on.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's great.
I didn't even notice you had sunglasses on.
Yeah.
What'd you do that for?
Because you said we were going to be famous. So I put on
don't take anything I say seriously, including
suit jacket.
You're going to get paid this week.
And I actually, this is the first time I put the suit jacket on in 2021, and it's tight.
Uh-oh.
It's snug.
You've gone overboard in the stuff.
I have, yeah.
All right. Well, let's tell everybody what we're going to do today. We're going to do 10 bests. Let's try that again.
Okay.
We're going to do 10 best female guitarists all time today here on Real Brave Live. Why? Well, because they deserve. We forgot, honestly, because the list that we had last week didn't have Minute. We realized that later we didn't make that list.
Yeah.
It was just something that we picked online. And you know what I was thinking is that in the future we should probably ask people who they think the 10 greatest.
I agree, because we keep pulling these lists. If you're a loyal viewer of the show, you know that we are coming up with these lists, most notably from Business Insider.
One of my favorite. It's great. It's very impartial.
I mean, but we don't know where these lists come from. We don't know the people who are making this decision. So one guy in the room, Tim Destroyer,
Yeah.
Or is it a survey like in Family Feud where 100 people asked, show me Jimmy Page. So yeah, I think we should maybe take a look at where we're gathering this data and maybe gather it ourselves.
I agree with you. I think what we'll do is we'll have to have some sort of poll. I'm just going to put this on Facebook right now, at Real Brave Inc. on Facebook.
It's telling me to swipe.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so yes, 10 greatest female guitarists of all time according to some person, right? Because where do we get this from?
This is from like UMusic or something like that.
NewMusic or something like that.com?
I'll find the source.
All
Or
right.
something like that.
I've been given information safely. Looks like we're on Podbean. I have no idea how this works. We're going to find out. That's just our audio podcast. Okay, so are we just going to jump into this? 10 best female guitarists in the history of the planet, according to some person?
Yeah, let's do it. I can't figure out how to see the comments on this guy over here.
Maybe I'm the only one that can see the comments.
No, I mean, I'm looking on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, don't forget to bring the comments up. If you're watching, please comment, and this makes it a lot more fun. I should have said that in the beginning. Whenever we're ready, we'll do the top 10.
These are from udiscovermusic.com.
udiscovermusic.com?
Got it.
Okay. Did I send this to you?
Yeah. This morning. You don't remember?
Nope.
The top 10 female guitarists of all time.
I might have sent you the wrong one.
What?
All right. Well, coming...
Wait, what? Okay.
Because I know... okay. Number 10, Kristen Hirsch from Throwing Muses.
This is... Nope. Oh, wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is this the wrong list?
Well, it's not the one that I had prepared.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's totally my fault.
It is totally Dan's fault.
And if you're busy, you understand. My pants are on backwards too. So Kristen Hirsch, from Throwing Muses, pioneering indie rock guitarist of the 80s and 90s, played both electric and acoustic, 11 solo albums, very dissonant to traditional folk.
Yeah.
Lyrics, I guess, in terms of like what she wrote for her singing style, was very stream of consciousness. Interesting to put in there. Personally, I'm not familiar.
So I'm gonna be blunt and just get out ahead of this and say I haven't heard most of these names on this list.
Yes. I was hoping that a couple of the people that I had prepared for would be on this, and it's not.
No. Well, so
wait, who were they?
But Bonnie Raitt's one.
I think it points to a larger issue of equality in the music business. That, like, why haven't I heard of any of these names? Because I've after you sent me the list, I've gone through and listened to examples from each one, and they're great.
They're all going to be fantastic. That's the thing.
They belong in the top 10 that we did last week of guitar players of all time.
You know what? And then on this list, to your point, there's going to be people that are way better than them that aren't famous.
Right. Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's the problem with these lists.
That's a total problem with this. Yeah, I agree.
Elaine Howe says Dorothy Wiggin.
Dorothy Wiggin is not a good
She
guitarist.
was actually on the list. She was like number 18.
It was Dot Wiggin.
Yeah, it was the sister. If you're familiar watching the show, we've discovered, or Kevin discovered the Shags.
My pal's name is Foot. He always likes to roam. That's how that song goes.
Do me a favor, look up the Shags. Throwing Muses, though, I am like I've heard, I just haven't listened. Like, it's not something that I listen to every single day. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot to say.
You should talk about the ones you prepared, because they're not on the list.
Well, no, I mean, did you prepare anything that's not on the list?
No, that's not on the list?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I was just going to talk about Bonnie Raitt.
Talk about Bonnie Raitt.
Well, Bonnie Raitt's one of the greatest slide guitarists that existed in the 90s, that was famous anyway.
Yeah.
Give Me Something to Talk About. It's like a huge breakout hit for her. She's still playing. And I think technique-wise, for a female guitarist, if you're talking about, like, equality, like, she broke barriers along with others. I mean, you have Joan Jett. Right, who broke barriers by just being, like, amazing as far as, like, a performer. I don't know if she's, like, a great guitarist.
Right.
She's like, okay. You see her play on Super Bowl with your favorite, Twerking Girl?
Twerking Girl?
Yeah. Twerking Girl. It's a famous 80s movie.
What is it? Cardi B?
No, the Climb. What's her name?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't see that.
No, it's not good. She shouldn't be playing with Miley Cyrus.
Nobody should.
Nobody should.
We're not biased.
Speaking of Miley Cyrus and Stevie Nicks videos.
Yeah, again, like, I don't know what Miley Cyrus is doing, but it's hurtful.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think she's trying to, like, cross over, because she was doing this rock thing, so she was dressed up in, Miley was dressed up in, why am I talking about Miley Cyrus? Miley Cyrus is not on this list. She doesn't play guitar.
Right.
Anyway, Joan Jett was another one, and
Joan Jett's on this list.
Is she?
But she's not in the top 10. Bonnie Raitt's on this list. She's number 14.
Oh, she's number 14.
Joan Jett over here is number 16.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay.
And I think it's important, again, to note that all these lists are so subjective, and, there's no given criteria of what makes somebody the best of a guitar.
If you have a favorite female guitarist that you'd like to say, please comment below. Number 9, Susan Tadeshi from the Tsadeshi Trucks Band.
Yeah. On your list. She appears a little later on mine, I think. Oh, no, we're looking at the same list now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just looking at the wrong people, as usual.
Right. Susan Tedeschi is great. That's one of the names that I recognize.
Okay.
Very soulful blues player.
Jam band.
The Tedeschi Trucks band. They're in that realm of they're more like southern influenced with Derek Trucks on the slide.
Trucks. That's like Irish, right? Trucks.
Trucks.
Yeah, it's not Irish. That's a fake name.
Only with it if it's with a CHS, not an X.
Okay. Stage names.
But I was reading a little bit about how they're one of the things that they're famous for, that band, is that Derek and Susan Tsadeshi are married. They're a partnership, and you can hear over the course of their career together their influences and their sound sort of rubbing off on each other.
Yep.
So like that, she's picking up a lot of the jazz stuff, he's picking up a lot of the like R&B kind of bluesy things, and it's really cool to watch that over the course of their careers.
Speaking of great guitarists, John Campos is on the Instagram feed right now.
Hey, John.
He's a fantastic guitarist.
I don't know John Campos.
You don't? He's a really good friend of mine, a great producer, and just if you really want to check out, he plays all the time. Like he's one of the guys that's like constantly playing on his Instagram.
Good.
Check out. He's got like 30,000 followers. He's got a bunch of. He's Grammy nominated.
Wow.
Pretty. There he is. There. Thanks. He says. But he's not a female, so he can't be on this list.
Okay. Sorry, John. Jordan Pisola is watching with us.
Ah, hi Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. It's Pisola.
It's fine.
Hi, Jordan.
So, coming in at number 8. Let's move on. Coming in at number 8, Kaki King. Did I say that right?
I think so.
Okay.
That was she's really good. I was checking out some of her stuff. She's got a very unique style. She's kind of one of those guitarists that does a lot of percussive things.
I've never heard
the body of the guitar. She does a lot of double tapping and stuff like that. And
that double tapping, meaning like playing like on one side of the guitar, like chords, and then
and like doing melodies over here.
That's
so like
insane. There's a couple of somebody that actually tried to infiltrate the practice portal sent a video.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
What do you mean infiltrate?
Meaning like they were just kind of sending a video that was like
self-promo?
Yeah.
All right.
But he's a teacher.
Oh.
Thumbs down.
He's going to swoop in.
Yeah, he's going to swoop in and steal all 20 students again.
Oh, man.
But that double tapping thing, can you do that?
Well, so there's like old school double tapping, which I guess you can accredit to like Randy Rhoads, who does that's like traditional double tapping. But what Kaki King is doing is she's like playing different lines. So like her left hand will be doing like a bass line, and then her right hand will go. I can't do it. It's like playing piano where your left hand's doing something completely different from your right hand.
Right.
Right. It's a lot.
Don Hobbs says, Joanna Connor, killer blues player from Chicago. I saw her in a Chicago blues club, and she has a new album produced by Joe Bonamassa.
Oh, nice.
Joe Bonamassa.
Joanna Connor.
All right, so I need to listen to Kaki King. I'm not saying that right. There's no way.
Yeah, Kaki King.
Kaki King? Say that fast 5 times.
No.
I'm listening because I can't play it on Facebook. Oh, this is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear someone who's better than you, but you've been playing guitar for 30 years, that's what this sounds like.
I get really resentful. Like, I'll go on YouTube and I'll just fall down that rabbit hole of like, watch this guy play Rachmaninoff on guitar.
This is amazing.
And then it's like, watch this 7-year-old from Korea play everything you've ever tried to play, but better.
Yeah. John from One My Music says Erica Clapton is one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Erica Clapton?
Erica Clapton.
Okay, yeah.
And Jenny Page.
Jenny Page.
Jenny Page.
I like that.
So Kaki King's a modern composer and guitar virtuoso. Yeah, I mean, what I just listened to is incredible. Check out that. Type it into Spotify and it comes up right away because her name's Kaki.
It's actually Catherine, but
It's Catherine,
Cocky.
but cocky sounds weird.
Well, it's just like
That's cocky. Like I feel like a 2-year-old when I say that.
Yeah.
I look like a 2-year-old when I say it too. Cocky.
If you say it over and over and over again.
Yeah. Janie Hendrix is not one of the top 10 guitarists.
No, but Janie Garcia.
Okay. All right. Moving on from Catherine King is Peggy Jones, Lady Bo.
Yeah, so she gained fame by playing with Bo Diddley. She's one of the first African American guitar players to really break through to the rock and roll scene.
Okay.
And she went on to record with him on a number of albums. She played with, I believe, James Brown. She's got her own solo stuff. Really, really great player. She played all the way up until she died, I think, like 5 years ago.
No, I think it said 75.
She died in
1975,
1975?
or she was 75.
It doesn't say when she died.
Let me find this out.
Death in 2015.
Okay. She might have been 75.
When she was in Bo Diddley's band in 1961, she wasn't a young whippersnapper.
Right. Right. That's
Right?
Yeah.
She was 16 when she first joined their band,
Yeah, 16. Wow. Oh.
which was crazy.
If you're interested in finding out who Bo Diddley is, search right now. Incredible. Number 6, Leona Boyd.
Oh, this was really cool.
Why is that?
Because she's a classical guitar player.
Okay.
She toward the end of her career, she moved into more new age stuff, and then eventually she had a neurological thing happen where she moved then more towards vocals because she kind of lost the ability to play. But she was famous in Canada for being like the best classical guitar player in the country.
She was like Canada's Yanni,
Yeah,
but for classical guitar.
right. That, I guess.
But she actually ended up going into new age music.
Right. But there's clips of her playing classical guitar, and it's, you know, she's one of the proteges of, who was it? Segovia, Andre Segovia. It's a very famous classical guitar player. Javi, if you're watching, you know who we're talking about. You might even know who Leona Boyd is. But yeah, she's really, really, really good classical chops. And in my opinion, these are the types of
IMO.
guitarists in IMO, in MO,
In MO.
in my O. These are the types of guitarists that really, I think, deserve to be in a top 10 list. You know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
when we did last week, there were no classical guitarists, there were no jazz guitarists.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's subjective. It's just somebody going like, this is what I think.
I like rock better. And, you know, guitar is so closely associated with rock that we forget about all the other genres in which it is a, like, why wasn't Joe Beam, Antonio Carlos Joe Beam on there? Or,
I didn't make the list.
you know, bossa nova is a genre that exists.
Well, even John, who is a great guitarist, is saying on Instagram, I don't know any of these guitarists. And you know what? I don't either, which is, I think, a good thing. Because now I'm going to rip this list up. I'm going to listen to these guitarists.
As you usually do.
I usually rip this list up.
Yeah.
But I'm shame on me. This is what, 33 years of playing guitar, and I don't know Leona Boyd.
Shame on
Yeah, what's the theme song for that? Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah, that's terrible. Number 5 is Emily Remler. Again, New Jersey.
A jazz player.
New Jersey jazz player.
Yeah, and the first jazz player we've talked about in this list, and
Ever.
yeah, ever. And traditionally, I really don't care for jazz guitar too much. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of the times jazz guitar comes on, and like I don't think the instrument has the same ability to be as expressive as like sax or a trumpet or a wind player.
I think you're opening up a can right here.
I really am, and I'm
are
like
you
a
doing that?
self-loathing jazz. I'm not even really a jazz guitar
So
player.
you think piano, bass, and drums. That's it.
I mean, yeah, that's a classic trio.
But what about all the chords that you can play on
You can
just as a background?
yeah, that's a background. I don't know. I think I'm guilty of associating jazz guitar with like background music, which kind of stinks
Are you
because
thinking of like
I'm thinking about like Muzak or like
No,
dance
not
songs.
Muzak.
I'm thinking about like smooth jazz.
No smooth jazz. We're talking like, come on, Daddy-O.
I mean, there are greats like Wes Montgomery and Django Reinhardt.
Well, those were some of her influences, I think it said, and like she took a lot from them and played like that style.
Yeah, she was so like okay, so jazz. I mean, jazz is its own genre and it has its own vocabulary. And what I mean by that is like there are licks and solos and riffs that have been written or improvised and transcribed a la Charlie Parker, and it became part of the idiom. Like, learn these licks and then you can speak in jazz. And maybe this is why, because I plateaued in my jazz studies and only got so far through the Omni book. That's the Charlie Parker transcribed solos. So maybe I got a chip on my shoulder about jazz guitar. I learned a couple things. I could do this one.
Yeah, that's good.
But that's the one that everybody can do.
That's the one everybody can do, except for me. I think you pronounce it Yaz guitar, yes?
Yeah, Yaz.
Yeah,
the soft J.
Soft J.
Yeah.
Coming in at, this is Emily Remler, fellow New Jerseyan. Mm-hmm. And she comes in at number 5. We're going to the top 4 now. No, we're not.
But a quick addendum to what I was just saying. She's great. I was checking her out, and she's like solo jazz guitar. She's walking bass lines, and she sounds like a full like trio.
Right. Doing
just 6 strings. It's something that's really impressive.
Better than me. Number 4, Memphis Minnie. I'm assuming this is early 20th century.
Yes.
If you're following this, you can join us live on Instagram and at Real Brave Inc. and on Facebook at Real Brave Inc. That's where the actual broadcast is. We're live on Podbean as well, which have got a couple listeners.
Some beaners?
Some beaners. Ooh. Oh my God, that's a weird thing to say. Don't never say that again.
Pod beans.
Yeah, we got a couple listeners. It's reminding me not to say anything harassing. So that's nice. So Memphis Minnie, one of the earliest pioneers of pickers.
So like a style of blues playing.
There's nothing to back that up. It doesn't specify whether it's nose picking or picking on the guitar. But she taught herself how to play guitar and banjo. Came up in the Beale Street blues scene in Memphis. So yeah, this is a while ago. Crucial figure in the urbanization of the blues.
Yeah, so that was like 30s.
Yeah. And we have a picture of her up there?
I can get one.
No, you don't need to. I was just wondering. Easily one of the best female guitarists in history. Toe-to-toe with Muddy Waters
Chuck
and
Berry.
more. And recorded over 200 songs. By the way, back then you had to like crush a live performance. And early 20th century, it wasn't like anything like it is, even in the late 19th century.
Oh, right.
Sometimes you were just going straight to record. Because I know that because depends on like where you are. So like my grandmother used to sing songs to my grandfather in World War II. Right, so we're talking 40s, and they used to go straight to record, and they used to send them back and forth to each other. It wasn't like, and we're gonna go on tape, see, and then we're gonna send it out, see, and it's gonna be mixed and mastered, see.
That's how they talked.
Well, that's how they talked back then.
See.
And it literally, like they're like
Transatlantic accent.
Yeah.
It's like, hello, darling. You could hear them talk. Anyway,
they all had cigars sticking out.
Hello, darling.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole like recording thing that she had it to 200 recordings.
Wow.
That's insanity.
Yeah, and in those times where recording a take meant an entire afternoon or even more, it wasn't like, oh, let's start again. There was a whole analog mechanical process to it. Where you really had to have chops to be able to get into the studio to start out with.
Number 3, we have Elizabeth Cotton.
Oh, another blues player.
Yeah.
Famous for, she was a lefty. And rather than restringing a guitar to orient itself low string, high string, she played a guitar like this, where... So the thick E string.
Wait a second. She's like Jimi Hendrix?
No, because Jimi Hendrix would he played a righty guitar, but it was strung backwards. But Elizabeth Cotten would play it like this. So the strings are the same orientation, and so she would have the low strings down below and would have to do it like that. But further than that, she would do like bass lines with her, she would pluck them with her forefingers and then pluck melodies with her thumb.
Oh my god.
Incredible technique. She was originally a banjo player, so a lot of that that's like a style of banjo playing. So
yeah, that
like,
makes sense.
But the idea of low strings on the bottom, there's a bass player named Mono Neon. Oh, I got to show you some Mono Neon. But he's got the same orientation. So lefty, it's a righty guitar that he plays with his left hand. It's pretty neat.
So there's this style of cotton picking.
Yes.
Which is especially tough to master.
That's what that's called.
That's what that's called.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a derogatory saying?
I
believe it was.
Yeah, well,
I believe it was.
I don't know if the saying is derogatory, but I think just the concept.
It's got some overtones to it.
Yeah, I never really heard that before,
Because
and now
her name is
I've
Elizabeth
heard
Cotten.
it in movies. Like, my dad's a huge older movie buff, and I've always watched older movies, and I've heard that tons of times in older flicks.
But was it referring specifically to the style of guitar playing?
No, because back then
that was invented by Elizabeth Cotten.
No, it was just I've heard like the words cotton picking in regular everyday kind of like talks in pictures like back in the 40s, 50s, like just talking about.
Oh, just wait one cotton picking.
Yeah,
second.
and like that doesn't sound right. Like that's totally a derogatory saying.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Let's steer clear.
And this is again like, and not to bring that up, but that's awful. I can't believe that actually happened. And just here's this incredible guitarist who has this style. That's awful.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I just ruined my day.
Well, I mean...
I'm confused.
So I don't want to get into it because I don't want people... There's a couple of people joining in. We're talking about Elizabeth Cotten, one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
And I think it's worth pointing out that we're both white.
Yeah.
And it could be hard for us to empathize with, a world history of racism.
No, it's impossible.
And that's why we're trying to figure out, is this like a derogatory term? And it might be better to err on the side of, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I would think so. And it just breaks my heart that's here's somebody who's just playing guitar, and like that's something that I remember. That saying is definitely a derogatory saying.
I think what's worse is that for a person who invented this style of an entire style of guitar playing, the first time I'm hearing about her is in 2021. That blows my mind.
Which goes back to the list that we've been using, which I think we can't be using them anymore. So if you're tuning in and you want to join us on Facebook and Instagram at Real Brave Inc., that's where the live video broadcast is. Also, you could follow us there and just check out what we're doing. We're a music organization. We do online teaching. This we do once a week, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. It's just an entertainment. I do it every single time. Yeah. Entertainment broadcast where we talk about some greats, some lists. We talk about music in general. 2 musicians in a room, and we're getting down to the top 2 female guitarists of all time. Mm-hmm. And should I go there?
Yeah,
sure. Number 2 is Mother Maybelle Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
country guitar player, early country guitar player, went on to influence.
She had the thumb brush, church lick, and most famously the Carter family picking. So there's a lot of technique style that she brought to the forefront of playing. Probably inspired by banjo, which again,
yeah, she was started as a banjo player.
Right, Southern technique coming into a lot of the stuff. If you study jazz, one of the best courses I ever took was by Arturo O'Farrell, mm-hmm. Chico O'Farrell's son.
Okay. And
he talked about the emergence of African music with Southern classical music and how that formed the early versions of jazz.
Right.
But if you really think about it, like everything that we're listening to today on guitar comes from banjo techniques, comes from like all that merging of all these rhythms.
Trace it back like the tree of life. There's so many different genres of music today, but they all sort of funnel back to classical and African American traditional music.
And it's lost on everybody. So it's hard for any, like my kids are young. They don't realize where music comes from and how there's like all these different versions that were meshed together to form what we're listening to today, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, pop, whether it's Yanni. Of course, you can't forget Yanni.
Can't forget Yanni.
I mean, who can?
That's with a soft J, right?
There's with a Y, so there's no J in it.
Oh.
Yanni's with a Y.
Okay. Does he play Yaz?
Soft Johnny.
Okay.
Influenced some of the greats like Doc Watson, Chet Atkins, and eventual son-in-law Johnny Cash.
Oh yeah, it's his mother-in-law.
Yeah. Incredible. Which leads us to number 1. Do we have a drum roll for that, or a guitar roll, or a chicken roll? The number 1 female guitarist of all time, according to this list, is Sister Rosetta Tharp, early gospel artist.
Yeah, and rock and roll guitar player. She was like,
Who knew?
She was like one of the first shredders, like back in like the 40s, like 1945, I think, is when she hit the scene, and she had a long career, and just coming from that gospel tradition. Just very jubilant style of playing. And when you see videos of her, it's like you could tell that she just loved to play.
The godmother of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I've never heard that saying before.
Oh, there were so many sayings in here. There was like the first lady of guitar. There was like the queen mother of rock and stuff like that. I don't know.
So here's my message to the universe and to America. Most first and foremost, America.
Right.
Shame on you. Because
okay.
why was the first thing that we did was to gravitate towards the 10 best guitarists of all time and accept the fact
that there were no women on
there were no women on it.
Yeah.
And like all these women are incredible. And the godmother of rock and roll,
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on, man. So like I'm not saying like we need to make room for this stuff. They deserve to be there, and like these lists are discounting the fact that they earned their spot, and that's frustrating. It frustrates as a father of 2 girls. It's frustrating as owner of a business that sees aspiring musicians. It's frustrating as a teacher.
Oh yeah.
Who like Emma, right?
Right.
If she wants to do something, what barriers does she have?
Right.
But Sister Rosetta Tharp. Profound influence on many people. She toured with Muddy Waters?
Yeah.
Did you tour with Muddy Waters?
I did not.
You did not. And is cited by prominent British guitarists Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Keith Richards. And here we are a week later, adding her to the list of 10 bests of all time as number 1.
Yeah, it's
So that's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I think we need to start making our own lists, but we got to be careful because you know me and my music
It's
taste.
going to be like number 1, Fish, number 2, Fish.
Well, no, number 2
3,
is Trey Anastasio
Mo.
Band.
Just as the band. Number 1. The drummer is the best guitarist of all time.
The Shags.
If you're following the Shags, please send us a comment on what you think of them. If you know the Shags, that is, because who knows?
The Shags guitarist was actually on this list, and they were like, for real though, she did do some stuff that no one else did. I'm like,
But it's like, where is she in the list?
I saw number
18?
19. I saw that description.
that's a bit insulting to the actual.
It is a little bit because, Dot Wiggin was famously untrained, and I think the person who wrote this list didn't really get that. I mean, yeah, what she did was very influential to like Frank Zappa and Kurt Cobain, but like not, I don't think, for the realm of like guitar players.
It was probably influential not because she was. Well, it wasn't influential because she was good at guitar. Like, it's influential because, it was just kind of, like, funny the way that the Shags became a thing. It was kind of, like, infamous,
Yeah, the way Dot sang and played in entirely different rhythms took some serious concentration.
No. She didn't know what she was doing.
She did it by accident.
A happy accident?
I don't know. Depends who you ask or how many times you've listened to the album.
If you're listening to the Shags, it sounds like they just didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
But it's celebrated as avant-garde genius.
Brendan Primus says Liz Phair.
Liz Phair. Excellent. That is well, now you're going the whole, like, the 90s route. Yeah, but Liz Phair is one of the only, like, rocker. You have the Breeders, but she was the bassist. What's her face from the Breeders? She was in the Pixies. She was the bassist. Yeah, I think we need to update where we're doing that. So if you're following the show, and if you have any thoughts, perceptions, brilliant ideas on lists, send that idea. But also, I think we'll send out like a post with a poll and see.
I think that would be a good route to go.
Yeah.
What should we poll about this week?
Well, next week I want to do the 10 best, African American guitarists of all time, or something like that, or 5 best. Because I think 10 best. We're at 35 minutes right now. It's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Can we put that out as a poll?
I think so.
Okay.
I wanted to do that, and then to close out Black History Month, maybe another something in Black History.
We could do like most influential like Black musicians, because like we're talking about now, it's like there's so many musicians in the early like 20s, 30s, like African Americans who basically pioneered rock and jazz and so much stuff like that. We could talk about that like a lot. I'm not.
I think this time last year we had Alex De Lazari on stage. And
Did we?
We were talking about Miles Davis and jazz.
We were?
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Was I awake for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
You must have been.
I was here.
You were here in spirit.
Yeah, it's hard to make music interesting. That's why it's taken us a year.
Said the musician of 30 years.
It's hard to make music talking interesting. That's why we're in episode 39 and we're starting to spread out.
Without a blanket license to be able to play these copyrighted
you can't
songs.
play the music.
That's really hard.
We might be able to play it on the podcast, though. We're live on Podbean. I don't know how to tell you where it is yet, because I just figured this. I just signed up for it.
Podbean.
A bunch of beans in a pod.
Yeah.
Do we have a game today, Kevin?
I don't.
Nothing prepared?
I didn't prepare anything. I had asked Maddie with like 10 minutes before this thing starts to prepare some true or false.
Oh.
So let's just sling them at each other and see what happens.
Is that what we're going to do?
True or false? Kristen Hirsch.
Yeah.
Played only electric guitar. Famous for only playing the electric guitar.
No. False.
Correct.
Oh, I got that right.
She played electric and acoustic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like electric really wasn't that big. If you're listening, last week we were talking about Les Paul. Les Paul brought the electric and distortion to the forefront of American and British hoobie-de-boobies. That's right. That's a technical word.
That is.
Do I have to go now?
Yes.
Okay.
So you gotta pick something out of that. And I'll go ahead and play some filler music. And you have to phrase it in the form of a statement so I can answer any question.
Kaki King is famous for sounding like what childish... Kaki King's first name sounds like which childish word in modern child language?
What is caca?
Yes.
Which means poop.
I have a hard time with that.
That was a great question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Respectful to Catherine King.
No, but I wouldn't. If her name was Catherine, why can't it just be Catherine or Kathy? Why does it have to be Kaka?
Okay.
Kaki?
Why is the Edge's name the Edge?
Well, it's not
Why isn't it
his.
just like Joe.
You're just all right. What you're saying is
He was born. Well, he was born, and
David Evans,
No, he was born the Edge.
and he changed it to David Evans. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? No,
Yeah. Well,
it's the other
because
way
his
around.
father was like, this kid is really, really cool. He's
really
cool
sharp.
as a cucumber, so sharp. Let's call him the Edge. And the
He
mother
was born square.
The mother was recovering from childbirth, and he just wrote it on the birth certificate. And
That is not what happened.
years later, it was discovered.
We're gonna do a U2 show one day.
I got one for you.
All right.
Mother Maybelle Carter is famous for her gospel background.
Okay.
Mother Maybelle Carter is famous for her gospel.
Oh, true or false?
True or false, yeah.
Ah, true.
That is false.
That's false. I didn't know that.
Sister Rosetta Tharp is famous for her gospel background.
Who came in number 1 on the list for 10 greatest
This is
guitarists of all time?
Sister Rosetta Tharp.
Very good.
Oh, this has been True or False.
It wasn't true or false. It was. Was it true or false?
That was a good. I think. Yeah.
I never listened to you.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
That's really disheartening. Well, that's good. Then you can't hear all the stuff I'm saying about you.
That's good. It's probably better off that way.
Yeah.
This has been Real Brave Live. Every week, tune in at 1 o'clock. Real Brave is a music lesson studio. We also have a tremendously popular program online with software we created in our own video suite called Practice Pad. Practice Pad is the way to learn any musical instrument online, and we also teach you how to practice with a bunch of web apps in there. If you're interested, follow us at Real Brave Inc. on Instagram, Facebook. We're going to be on TikTok soon. We've just been trying to put together the content, right, Maddie? Yep. And every week, 1 p.m. here. If you're really, really interested in learning and you just don't have the money right now, why don't you hop on over to the Facebook Practice Portal. That's a Facebook group.
Yes.
Okay? The Practice Portal, where you can get some free, and I mean free, instruction by, like, that guy over there.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, I'm on the Practice Portal.
You're on the Practice Portal doing free lessons.
Yeah.
For free. Nobody's paying you for it.
We're going to be doing Ask the Instructor very soon.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about Not My Forte.
Not My Forte is a weekly installment. I've been doing it bi-weekly lately because I've been involved with some other things. I made a box this weekend.
You made a box?
Yes, a wooden box. First time ever. Anyway, Not My Forte is a segment wherein I teach myself classical piano, and it's not my forte.
Sure.
Guitar is, I guess, my strength.
It's a pun,
It's a play on musical words, forte meaning strong or
yeah,
loud, I guess, as people interpret it. So it's like a half an hour of me going through some of the techniques that I use whenever I learn any piece of music on any instrument, breaking things down, deconstructing it, developing it, and chunking it and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in picking up some practice techniques or watching me make a fool of myself on a piano, Sundays at 2 o'clock. That's what it airs.
That wraps it up for today. Join us next week, 1 p.m., Real Brave Live, and we will announce what that is. If you have any comments, suggestions, put them below what you want to see and who you think are the greatest guitarists of all time, female-wise, the female version, female-flavored.
Thanks for watching. Real Brave Live.